Welcome back, everyone, to The Deep Dive. Today, we're diving into a pretty incredible story from Sikh history.
It's a fascinating one.
Yeah, we're going to learn about Bhai Mati,
Yeah.
and we'll be using two sources to help us with that, Wikipedia and Discover Sikhism.
Great sources.
They're pretty good sources.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think this deep dive should give us a good understanding of Bhai Mati, his devotion to the Sikh gurus,
Definitely.
his incredible, unwavering faith.
Especially in the face of some pretty harrowing events.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's this one story about his execution that really just highlights his strength and just his beliefs.
Incredible.
Yeah. So to start us off, can you give us some background on Bhai Mati? Like, who was he and what made him such a significant figure in Sikh history?
Absolutely. So Bhai Mati was a devoted Sikh
Okay.
who lived during the 17th century.
Okay.
And he served under Guru Tegh Bahadur, the 9th Sikh guru.
Oh.
But his family's connection to Sikhism actually goes even further back.
Okay.
So his grandfather, Bhai Praga, converted to Sikhism under Guru Hargobind, the 6th guru, and even fought in battles alongside the guru.
Wow. So they've got a pretty long family history with the Sikh faith.
Yeah, definitely. Dedicated to their faith, a legacy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Bhai Mati was basically continuing that line of service, that devotion.
Yeah. And it wasn't just any service either. So he was the Dewan for Guru Tegh Bahadur, which basically meant he was like the manager of the guru's household,
Okay.
overseeing all sorts of affairs. It really shows the level of trust and respect that the guru had for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it sounds like he was more than just a devout follower. He was like a skilled leader and administrator.
Absolutely, yeah. And the sources actually mention how Bhai Mati traveled extensively with Guru Tegh Bahadur, including a trip to Assam. It really seems like he was constantly by the guru's side, deeply involved in all aspects of the Sikh community, even present at the founding of the town of Anandpur, which Guru Tegh Bahadur himself chose. Yeah, you can really get a sense of like how important he was to the movement during this time.
So he's right there at the heart of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, this was also a very turbulent period in Indian history. The Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb was in power.
Okay.
And, he was very aggressive in trying to expand his empire and force conversions to Islam.
So this is where the story starts to take a bit of a darker turn.
Yeah, his policies were incredibly oppressive, especially towards Hindus and Sikhs. Many were forced to convert or, face terrible consequences. It was a time of intense religious persecution.
I can only imagine how terrifying that must have been for people of other faith. It's heartbreaking.
Absolutely. And this is kind of the backdrop against which Bhai Mati story really unfolds, because it was during this time that a group of Kashmiri Pandits who were facing this extreme persecution from Aurangzeb, they turned to Guru Tegh Bahadur for help.
So the guru was seen as a protector.
Exactly. They saw him as their champion. And Guru Tegh Bahadur, known for his compassion and commitment to justice, decided to confront Aurangzeb directly.
That must have taken some immense courage.
It did.
Knowing the kind of a ruler Aurangzeb was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's even more remarkable is that Bhai Mati, knowing full well the dangers involved, chose to accompany a guru on this journey to Delhi.
So he was putting his life on the line.
He was.
For his faith.
Yeah.
His leader. That's some serious devotion.
Absolutely. Yeah, it really speaks volumes about his loyalty and bravery. He knew the risks, but he didn't hesitate to stand by the guru's side.
So what happened when they reached Delhi? Did they manage to meet with Aurangzeb?
They did, but it didn't go well.
Okay.
The sources actually mention that they were arrested near Ropar before even reaching the capital.
Oh, no. So their journey was cut short.
Yeah. They were imprisoned in Delhi, which really sets the stage for what's to come.
Okay.
Yeah. Just imagine, like, the scene. Guru Tegh Bahadur, Bhai Mati, their companions, standing before the most powerful ruler in India, Aurangzeb, at the Red Fort.
I can only imagine the tension in the air. So what happened during this confrontation? Did they try to reason with Aurangzeb?
According to the sources, Aurangzeb questioned Guru Tegh Bahadur's very title.
Oh.
And his motives for defending the Kashmiri Pandits. It was a direct challenge to the guru's authority.
So the stakes were really high.
Oh, absolutely. Their lives were hanging in the balance.
What did they do?
Well, Bhai Mati Das, always quick-witted, fiercely loyal, he immediately jumps to his guru's defense.
Okay.
Explains to Aurangzeb that the title Tegh Bahadur, which means mighty sword, wasn't just given, it was earned
Okay.
through acts of courage and valor.
That's pretty bold to stand up to the emperor like that.
It was. But ultimately, their pleas fell on deaf ears.
Okay.
They refused to convert to Islam, and this refusal sealed their fate.
Oh, wow.
They were thrown back in prison, subjected to torture, and ultimately, they were faced with this unimaginable choice. Their faith or their lives.
Wow, this is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like their faith was really going to be tested in the most extreme way possible. I can't wait to hear what happens next.
Yeah.
Okay, so we left off with Bhai Mati Das and his brother Bhai Sati Das and Bhai Dayala imprisoned, along with Guru Tegh Bahadur in Delhi.
Right.
They've defied Aurangzeb, refused to convert to Islam. Gosh, it must have felt like the walls were closing in.
Yeah, just the atmosphere, the weight of their defiance, the knowledge of what Aurangzeb was capable of.
Yeah.
It must have been so heavy.
And it's at this point that the sources really drive home, like the sheer brutality of the situation.
Right.
They were given a way out, a chance to save themselves.
Right.
But they just refused to compromise their beliefs.
It really speaks to, the depth of their conviction,
Yeah.
to face that kind of pressure and still just hold firm.
Yes.
It's astonishing.
The Discover Sikhism article, it does an amazing job of painting a picture of what happened next.
Right.
It describes the execution scene, which took place near the Suneri Masjid in Chandni Chowk, as like a public spectacle.
Right.
A deliberate act of intimidation by Aurangzeb.
It's chilling, isn't it? To think that this horrific event was just meant to be like a display of power.
Yeah.
A warning to anyone who dared to challenge him.
I can't even imagine what it must have been like to be in that crowd witnessing such a gruesome event.
Yeah.
To know that these men were being executed just for their beliefs.
And it's right there in the midst of all this that Bhai Mati Das is given a choice. Convert to Islam, and he will be rewarded with riches, a high position in the Mughal court.
Wow.
Even marriage to the Nawab's daughter.
Talk about a tempting offer.
Oh, yeah, especially under those circumstances.
It would have been so easy to give in, right?
Absolutely.
Choose self-preservation.
Yeah.
But Bhai Mati Das's response is absolute.
He refused.
He refused.
He chose death over abandoning his faith.
It's a moment that really gives you chills,
Yeah.
That level of unwavering faith is just, it's almost incomprehensible.
Both sources describe his execution method, and it's truly horrifying.
Okay.
He was sawed in half from head to loins.
Oh my gosh.
It's hard to even fathom the pain and suffering.
It's just barbaric.
Yeah.
And this is where the Discover Sikhism source adds this detail
Right.
that I found both incredibly moving and almost impossible to believe.
It's hard to wrap your head around.
They mentioned that Bhai Mati Das actually requested to be executed slowly.
Right.
Slowly. I mean, why would he ask for that? It doesn't make any sense.
It seems unfathomable, doesn't it? But the source explains that he wanted to be able to recite the Japji Sahib, which is a sacred Sikh prayer. Oh my gosh, that's just, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
The strength, the devotion, it's just beyond imagination.
And the source actually quotes him as saying, Surjave tajave par meri Sikhi sidak na jave. If I have to die, so be it. But may my Sikh faith never go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is just powerful, doesn't even begin to describe it.
The article even mentions that the executioner was reportedly stunned by this request.
Right.
Which I think speaks volumes about,
Yeah.
the sheer audacity of his faith.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a powerful reminder that sometimes true strength lies not in physical power, but in the unwavering conviction of the spirit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And incredibly, according to that Discover Sikhism source, he continued to recite the prayer throughout the entire ordeal.
That is just, I'm speechless.
It's hard to even grasp that kind of inner strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's truly testament to the power of faith, to be able to find that solace and that strength in something greater than yourself. Yeah.
Even in the face of unimaginable pain and suffering.
Absolutely.
But sadly, Bhai Mati Das wasn't the only one who made the ultimate sacrifice that day.
Right.
Both sources talk about the executions of Bhai Dayala and Bhai Sati Das, who also refused to convert and faced equally brutal deaths.
It was a collective act of defiance,
Yeah.
a testament to the unbreakable bond of faith and brotherhood that connected these men.
Yeah.
They chose to face their fate together, their belief in their principles stronger than their fear of death.
And of course, shortly after, Guru Tegh Bahadur himself was executed,
Right.
paying the ultimate price for standing up for his beliefs,
Yeah.
defending the persecuted.
It was a devastating loss for the Sikh community,
Yeah.
but it also marked a turning point.
Okay.
Their martyrdom became this symbol of resistance
Okay.
against tyranny and oppression.
Yeah.
A reminder that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit can find the strength to resist injustice.
So in the aftermath of this horrific event, what happened? How did the Sikh community cope with such a profound loss?
Both sources describe how Bhai Jida,
Okay.
a devoted Sikh, bravely recovered Guru Tegh Bahadur's severed head and brought it back to Anandpur.
Right.
And there, the young Guru Gobind Singh, the 10th Guru, performed the cremation.
It must have been a heartbreaking but also like incredibly powerful moment for the community to come together like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the Discover Sikhism source actually adds another layer to this.
Okay.
They mention that Lakhi Shah Vanjara, another Sikh disciple, risked his own life to steal Guru Tegh Bahadur's body and cremate it, preventing the Mughals from further desecrating it.
That is an incredible act of courage and devotion.
Yeah, it speaks volumes about the impact these martyrs had. You know,
Yeah.
they weren't just seen as victims,
Right.
but as heroes, as symbols of unwavering faith and resistance,
Yeah.
and their sacrifice really ignited a fire in the hearts of their followers, a fire that would continue to burn for generations.
So how is their story remembered today? Are there any like physical reminders of their sacrifice?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Gurdwara Sisgan Sahib in Chandni Chowk marks the very spot where they were martyred.
Wow.
It's a place of pilgrimage for Sikhs,
Okay.
a reminder of their unwavering faith and the price they paid.
Yeah, it's amazing how those physical spaces can serve as such powerful reminders of the past,
Yeah.
you know, connecting us to the stories of those who came before us.
And the Wikipedia source also mentions the Gurdwara Rakab Ganj Sahib,
Okay.
which stands where Guru Tegh Bahadur's body was cremated.
Okay.
These Gurdwaras are more than just buildings, you know. They're living testaments to the enduring legacy
Right.
of these martyrs.
It's clear that Bhai Mati Das's story, along with those of his companions, continues to have a profound impact on the Sikh community.
Yeah.
They're not just historical figures, they're sources of inspiration. Guiding lights in the face of adversity.
Their names are mentioned in daily Sikh prayers.
Wow.
And the Wikipedia source even mentions a museum dedicated to them in Delhi,
Oh, wow.
the Bhai Mati Das Sati Das Museum.
Okay.
You know, it's a physical embodiment of their continued importance, a way of ensuring that their sacrifice is never forgotten.
It's incredible to think how their story has been passed down through generations,
Yeah.
keeping their memory alive and inspiring countless others.
Absolutely.
It really makes you think about the power of faith, the strength that can come from belief, and the impact one person's unwavering commitment can have on the world.
It's a truly humbling and inspiring story.
Yeah.
It reminds us that courage, conviction, and the willingness to stand up for what you believe in can make a real difference,
Yeah.
even in the face of seemingly insurmountable obstacles.
And that's a message that resonates far beyond the Sikh community.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, it speaks to the human spirit's capacity for resilience, for finding strength in the face of adversity, and for standing up for what's right, no matter the cost.
It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the greatest acts of heroism aren't performed on battlefields,
Yeah.
but in the quiet moments of unwavering faith and unflinching courage, even when facing the most terrifying of circumstances.
It's a story that stays with you long after you've heard it,
Yeah,
you know, prompting reflection on our own values, our own beliefs,
absolutely.
and what we'd be willing to sacrifice for them.
It's a powerful story indeed.
Yeah.
And it leads us to a much broader discussion about the implications of such unwavering faith.
Right.
The lessons we can all learn from Bhai Mati Das's life, and how his story can inspire us to be better, braver, and more compassionate human beings.
Yeah.
But before we delve into those deeper themes,
Yeah.
let's take a moment to just let all of this sink in,
Okay.
to appreciate the magnitude of their sacrifice and to acknowledge the lasting impact it's had on the world.
Yeah. It's hard not to be I guess, moved by Bhai Mati Das's story, his unwavering faith. You know, in the face of just unimaginable horror, it really makes you think about the strength of the human spirit.
And what I think is really fascinating about it is that while, religious devotion is a huge part of it,
Right.
it also kind of goes beyond that,
Yeah.
It speaks to this universal human struggle against tyranny,
Right.
a fight for freedom of conscience.
Yeah.
Having the courage to stand up for what's right, even when the odds are stacked against you.
It makes you question your own sense of courage.
Yeah.
And what you would be willing to sacrifice for your beliefs.
Like, think about it this way. Bhai Mati Das and his companions, they become these symbols of resistance against any force ideology, not just religious.
Right.
Right. Their sacrifice, it reminds us that true freedom is being able to live according to your conscience.
And it makes you consider the importance of speaking out against oppression, even when it's dangerous. I mean, Bhai Mati Das could have saved himself, but he chose to stand by his guru and defend the rights of others.
Yeah.
That's a powerful, powerful lesson in moral courage.
It is. Because sometimes staying silent in the face of injustice, it makes you complicit.
Yeah.
Right? Bhai Mati Das's story, it challenges us to find our own voices.
Right.
And to stand up for what we believe in, even when it's difficult.
It's almost like a call to action, a reminder that we all have a part to play in making the world a more just and compassionate place.
And what's inspiring is that his story can really resonate with anyone, regardless of their beliefs.
Yeah.
That unwavering commitment to his principles, his willingness to sacrifice everything for his faith, for his community.
Yeah.
It's something we can all admire and learn from.
Yeah. It's a powerful testament to the potential of the human spirit to overcome even the most challenging circumstances.
Definitely leaves you with a lot to think about.
Yeah.
What sacrifices would we be willing to make?
Right.
For our own beliefs? How can we apply the lessons of Bhai Mati Das's story to our own lives and the challenges we face today?
Well, those are some really thought-provoking questions. Bhai Mati Das's story reminds us that courage and conviction can truly make a difference in the world.
Mm-hmm.
His legacy continues to inspire people to fight for justice, to stand up for what they believe in, and to live lives of purpose and meaning. What an incredible takeaway.
Absolutely. It's a story that stays with you. It challenges us to be better, braver, and more compassionate human beings. And that's what I love about these deep dives. They take us beyond the surface.
Yeah.
And they allow us to connect with stories that have the power to change our perspectives and inspire us to action.
Well said. And on that note, we've come to the end of our deep dive into the life and legacy of Bhai Mati Das. We hope you found it as fascinating and thought-provoking as we did. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.